Hello and welcome to another video. Andrew here. Thank you guys for watching my last video. Seems like it reached a lot more people than my other videos do, so I am thankful for that. Hopefully those of you who watched got some information or knowledge that you could use in your own lives. I like to go back and watch some of my videos over just because I like to refresh my mind about the ideas I talked about. And when I was just listening to the last video I did, one point kind of stood out to me, and it was just like a tiny sentence, or not even a tiny sentence. It was me saying that my past doesn't need to predict my future, or my past events don't predict my present and they don't predict my future. You can do what you want in the present and you will build a future that you want. The past doesn't have to be a predictor of what your future will be like, even though sometimes people will look at it that way. And this past week, that kind of has stuck with me. I have been thinking about memories that are pretty emotionally charged. And I think to myself, why do I keep reminding myself of these things? Why do I keep replaying these memories in my head that just remind me of low points in my life? And it makes me feel bad about myself, and it makes me feel bad about what I did in those moments. And, it just negative all around. Makes me feel sad, makes me feel regretful, etc. And so I think we hold on, or at least I hold on to these memories and these ideas because I am scared. I hold on to this past identity of myself, even if it's not a very good identity. And it gives me these emotions of sadness and regret because I think my mind wants to protect itself. It's replaying these memories so it reminds myself what not to do. And it reminds myself that if I get into another situation similar to that, this is what could happen. And even though the situation itself isn't a bad thing, it's more of how I reacted, my memories trigger that kind of fear response so that it stops me from going into that situation, if that makes sense. So the fear response, the memories that replay, trigger this emotion. And then the emotion tells my body and my mind, hey, don't ever get into this situation again, or else you will feel this bad again, and it will not be good. And we don't want that. So, hey, feel this emotion, replay these memories, because this is what could happen. The thing is, that fear and those replaying memories aren't going to help me grow as a person. It's just going to keep me rooted in my fear. And obviously, it's going to scare me away from getting into those situations again. And the situations aren't bad. The memories that replay in my mind are just arguments and disagreements and moments where I got angry or upset and was not very understanding. I was not very empathetic, and I didn't try my best to resolve things in a calm and clear-minded way. And so my mind replays these memories, and it makes me feel terrible about myself for the things I did. And as a result, it makes me fearful to get into those situations again. But the thing is, I don't want to avoid those situations. I want to be able to handle those situations. I want to be able to grow as a person and handle those situations better, handle my emotions better, handle my reactions better. I think there's that saying where life is like 20% what happens to you and 80% how you react to it. I want to be in control of my reactions. I want to be in control of my emotions. And if that's not possible, then I at least want to allow my reactions to come, allow my emotions to go, and I don't want to act out my first reaction, act out my first emotion upon whatever happens. That means if something happens that is upsetting to me, and my first reaction may be to get angry and to yell or get defensive, I'll allow myself to feel that defensive energy, breathe through it, and then emotionally regulate much quicker than I used to. Whereas a path that I would not want to go down is to react angrily and react in an upset manner and just start yelling and screaming and getting defensive about something that probably doesn't matter in the long run. So I think I replay these emotions and these scenarios because I'm trying to protect myself. I'm trying to figure out the answers to what I could have done in the past that would have made things better. The thing is, you can't go back in the past and make things better. You can analyze the past, dissect it, and figure out, okay, this is what you should have done. This is what you could have done. This is what you should do next time it happens. And then it's not about getting it right next time. It's more about just being in control of yourself. I don't want my emotions and my negative thoughts to be the driving force in my life, because if they are, there's a lot of fear and despair that steer me into a life of dullness and flatness and monotony. And I realize that deep down, I have a thirst for life. I think I want a balance of life where I can go and live and adventure and explore, and I don't have to be afraid to explore. I don't have to be afraid of people out there. I don't have to be afraid of potential dangers that may never happen. But once I go out and I expend my energy, I can come back and I can be comfortable and I can be safe in my own home and around the people that help me recharge my energy. So I encourage you to figure out what is constantly replaying in your mind. If that's something good, if it's something bad, and why is it replaying so much? Like with the situations where I get into arguments or I get into upsetting situations, I realize that I react emotionally and I get defensive and I run away. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to face difficult things and lash out because it feels unfair. I want to have a controlled emotion, a controlled response, and stand and face what scares me and either resolve it or let it pass through. Sometimes you won't be able to resolve every situation that comes your way, but if you can keep cool, then it's going to pass. Everything passes. That's just what I've been thinking about this week. I think I've been just replaying these emotions and these memories in my head over and over. And I know it's probably going to keep happening. I try to catch myself and pull myself out of it before I get too involved in the memory, where I literally place myself inside of that memory. And it's kind of like I'm reliving it. I don't want to relive it. I can replay it, but I'm not going to relive it. I refuse to relive these memories as if they're happening in the moment, in the present. Those things are gone and they have passed. And even if I have regrets on how I acted, like I said before, the past does not predict my future. And just because I did something in the past doesn't mean I will have that same reaction in the present. And I encourage you guys, please don't repeat your past mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. Try to be better as a person. Accept yourself as you are, but understand that if there's something that you can do to better yourself and you're willing to accept that you're not perfect, then that means you can change, if you want to change. I know the things I'm saying are kind of like the opposite of each other. Accept yourself as you are, but then accept that you should change yourself, right? Accept yourself as you are. Don't fight yourself. Don't be angry at yourself. Don't beat yourself out. Start where you are with who you are. And if you want to change, you can change. Review and dissect how you acted in the past. Think about how you would act now. And the next time it happens, go with that. Do not repeat your same mistakes. I'll keep it short. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Please like and subscribe and comment on the video if you have any ideas about what I've been talking about, if you resonate with the messages I've been talking about, and just let me know. Just let me know how you guys are doing. Thanks for watching.